Gordon Ramsay, he's been forced to eat his own words.
First of all, I don't attack.
I'll get you more pumpkin, I'll ram it right up your f***ing ass. Would you like it whole or diced?
I suppose I get turned on by pressure.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
Where's the lamb sauce?
All I do is keep it real.
Ladies, welcome, good evening. So sorry about the old bag.
Gee, you cause a stir out there, literally.
Yeah, I didn't mean it, actually.
Some hot water for celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay, facing some payback.
I'm deeply mortified that it's been blown out of context.
Chef Ramsay, you're a f***ing douchebag.
You can't keep everybody happy.
As he puts it, I want to be a role model for my children.
Me? How about you?
And have them look up to me.
And I get a lot of criticism for being blunt.
We don't need him here.
Brutal.
What he should do is confine himself to the kitchen.
Because I've never forgotten where I've come from.
He's a man with a serious dark side.
20 years ago, I got dealt a dysfunctional card.
Some are calling karma.
Ramsay's childhood was filled with abuse.
And it was unimaginably painful. I would get completely fucked over for that sort of thing.
Then the beating started.
She asked for it, he said. Then he dragged her downstairs. Her eyes were completely closed. Her face swollen. My feelings for him hardened into hatred. Until I was big enough to take him on in a fight. And one night, I felt he really might kill me.
How did Ramsay's childhood turn tragic?
His favourite punishment was the belt. You'd get whacked on the back of the legs for something that was as innocent as going to the fridge and drinking his Coke. I say whacked. The truth is, I would get completely fucked over for that sort of thing. Mum was getting knocked about, and not having had any other experience with men, she assumed that this was what every woman had to put up with. My tactic was to keep my head down and my nose clean, until I was big enough to take him on in a fight. I had crossed the line when I was 15, and one night I came back late. I'd already been given some kind of big radio for the upcoming birthday, and he threw it at me from the top of the stairs. "I can't believe you've done that," I said. "You know damn well that Mum bought it for me." He came storming down the stairs. At first, I stood my ground. Then I saw the look in his eyes. For the first time, I felt he really might kill me, and I bolted.
Yeah, I was the kind of guy that was dying to get out of the house. If I wasn't at home, I'd be around a friend's house. And God bless her, Mum was strong, determined, and she was the one that said, "Look, do yourself a favour, disappear. Things have gone really bad between your father and I. Get out of the house and basically get lost."
I was on my ass. I was down, I was upset and angry. I decided I'm going to cook. Because if I cook for a living, I can travel the world to get away from the hurt every day in front of me. Couldn't afford a full-time course. Enrolled in a part-time college course, going to college 1 day a week, and then having 6 days a week at work. At the age of 26, I was burnt out.
Sometimes when he phoned home, I used to feel really sorry for him, because if it was a bad night, he used to say, oh, you know, he was ready to give up.
Meanwhile, Mum was still getting knocked about. And it was unimaginably painful hearing the stuff from Mum, her voice down the telephone. He came home from work one night and he just started. Dad had had a couple of drinks. Mum was in bed with a mug of hot milk. He poured it all over her as she lay there. Then he dragged her downstairs and the beating started. By the time the ambulance arrived, her eyes were completely closed, her face swollen. First she was taken to a hospital, then to a refuge. Dad, of course, disappeared at the first sound of a police siren. A few days later, I tracked him down. She asked for it, he said. That was when the social services and all the other authorities got fully involved, and a restraining order was taken out on him. He wasn't allowed anywhere near the house. Later, my feelings for him hardened into hatred. I drove back to London and I went straight back into the kitchen, working as hard as ever, trying not to think, or at least to think only about the next order. I don't think I've ever needed my kitchen so much in all my life.
Gordon Ramsay caused outrage, famous for his foul mouth as he is for his food. He's been forced to eat his own words. Well,
You've now pushed me to the limit. I suggest you shut your mouth.
The 48-year-old restaurateur has certainly made some enemies over the years.
I'm not going to pretend that his comments didn't hurt.
I'm deeply mortified that it's been blown out of context.
Gee, you caused a stir out there, literally.
Yeah, I didn't mean it, actually.
Some hot water for celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay, now facing some payback.
Gordon Ramsay is under fire. We don't need him here.
What he should do is confine himself to the kitchen.
My father, I'd never wanted to follow in his footsteps. I didn't see him for many years. I got a call from my father. There was a pause. Then he said, "Can I see you?" I saw this old, frail, white-haired man with bruises on his face and marks on his knuckles. I felt stunned. This was the man I'd been scared of for so long. "Look at the state of you. Where are you living?" He pointed at the car park, and there was this Ford Transit van. Inside there were all his possessions. I went to the bank and got out £1,000 and gave it to him for the deposit on a flat. I thought at least I could do the right thing by him. He told me that he was going to be on his own for Christmas. I felt sorry for him, but nothing more. Looking back, I wonder if he knew that his time was running out. Driving back to London after that last visit, I cried my eyes out. What a waste of a life. All I knew was that I didn't want to be like him, and any time I came close to doing so, I would put the fear of God into myself.
The most important thing for me was the journey back. Because picking yourself up and dusting yourself down, no one can ever teach you that.
20 years ago, I got dealt a dysfunctional card. My father became an alcoholic.
Everything he did, I was determined to do the opposite.
Ramsay saw the potential in a 19-year-old contender named Gabriel Lewis.
My name's Gabriel. I'm 19 years old from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. When I got out of high school, I thought I should be going to college right now, but my parents are not the best of health. So I felt like I needed to step up and really spend my time focusing on my family. I don't make a lot of money, I'm on the lower end of every bit of income. So if I could become the next master chef at 19, it would allow me to set my parents up, do something that would better their lives.
Lewis was excelling in the competition and made it to the top 7 contestants until he made an unimpressive dish, which saw him eliminated from the show.
Gabriel, I'm sorry, but I've got news for you. You may be going back to Oklahoma tonight, but you are not going back to be a fast food server. Young man, it's very rare we see such raw talent that's got amazing potential come through this competition. You've got the potential to be huge in this industry. You just need the right training. So I am personally going to send you to culinary school. I think a parent's responsibility is to create that level of opportunity for them.
I never had that with my father.
Ramsay discusses the work that he and his wife do for the UK charity Women's Aid, an organization that aims to end domestic violence against women and children.
And we're setting out our own local scholarships to help underprivileged kids to concentrate on what they really want to do.
And give them hope for a better future.
When you're down in the dumps, the most important thing for me was the journey back. Because picking yourself up and dusting yourself down, no one can ever teach you that. And more importantly, I had to experience it to come back twice as strong. And no matter how successful, wherever you go in life,
never, ever, ever give up.